Hello and welcome back to FTL. Last time we managed to make it through a sector filled with a bunch of mantis, and we're not actually, okay, I take it back. We are actually pretty bad for having done that. Our hull integrity is at an all-time low. Our fuel is very low. Our crew is freaking out. We're gonna have to jump into a slug-controlled nebula and hope that things turn out well. Apparently we just got the NG cruiser. The slugs developed on an ocean planet where the ability to telepathically sense another organism was more important than sight. Today, they use their ability to navigate unfettered the depths of the nebulas they inhabit. Congratulations! By making it to the 5th sector, you've unlocked the NG playable ship for future playthroughs. Very nice. We now have a new ship that we can start with. That, I guess, makes this all worth it? Question mark? Let's turn on the distress beacon and wait and see if someone shows up. Hey, rebels, how you doing? Your distress beacon must be working because a ship just jumped nearby. You run a scan on it and activate a red alert. It's a rebel fighter. Well, I'm gonna level with you. Looks like they don't have any missiles or anything, so we're gonna put full power to the shields and start hitting them directly in their shield sector. Oh no. They have a boarding drone. That thing is a boarding drone. It's gonna come on board and try to just absolutely wreck house with all of our people. Which, I don't know if you've checked recently, but enemies wrecking house with us, not really the best situation. Looks like we've got it relatively under control, actually. Just saying, I mean, Teledrin is about to die, but we can get him out of there. And although, you know, he did slow down the system a bit, no systems were actually damaged by that boarding drone. So that's pretty good. Okay, now we need to aim this laser. The key to aiming the laser is getting into as many systems as possible, so that's probably a good hit. That should do 5 damage and damage all of those systems along the way. That is perfect. Very nice. We'll keep that on auto fire, and we'll just continue to fire with the rest of the systems at the same time. Yeah, there we go. Get wrecked, rebel fighters! Looks like we got 4 fuel, 50 scrap. That's pretty good. We're gonna need to send some repairmen in to fix that hull breach. I mean, Starger, being a mantis, he has like, I think it's a negative 25% repair time, so he's really bad at repairing things. But, you know, he's the only person we had available, so he had to go do some repairing. Let's see what we can do. Guess we'll just jump to a distress beacon. We could upgrade the ship, but I'm kind of questionable about that. You arrive at the beacon and immediately detect a pirate ship. It seems this distress beacon was a trap. Oh no. Okay, looks like they have mostly lasers. We'll keep power on the shields. They do have a mind control device. That is not good. That, as it sounds, mind controls our crew. So we're gonna have Starger try to fight Fairy, but not actually kill him. Because obviously we don't actually want to kill our friend. Oh no. Got a whole new big issue going on here. It appears that we have just ran out of missiles. I don't know if you've noticed, but our missile store is at 0. So we're gonna have to be pretty tactical about taking this ship down. Oh, we got some good damage in, but not quite enough. Oh, really? They have firebombs? Oh, these people are the worst. So basically what we're gonna have to do is coordinate the laser bursts with the pike beam so that the lasers take down the shields and the pike beam actually does damage. Because we have enough shots from our straight laser to actually hit, to actually get through the shields, but not enough to, like, you know, actually do damage. Well, the ship repeatedly hails you. It looks like they want to surrender. Now, while usually I'm stalwart against allowing any enemies to surrender, it just so happens that maybe we're not very good at actually fighting these guys, and we should accept their offer because they're also giving us a bunch of missiles, and our ship is on fire. That's usually a pretty good reason to surrender. When your ship light's on fire, you should know that it's about time you surrendered. Okay, so we're gonna vent the atmosphere there, put out those fires. And overall, everything seems to be fairly under control and we can move on. Question, do we want to upgrade anything? I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to save my resources for a shop to try to repair the ship and get some more fuel, but that's always a back and forth situation. A slug ship, a rogue you suspect, approaches, but when he sees your Federation, he thinks better of the sneak attack and fires everything he has. Yeah, it's probably for the best. I mean, we are pretty darn powerful. Okay, looks like it's a full power to the shield situation. We're going to take power out of the med bay, throw it into the engines, just to increase that evasion a little bit more. I think they have just enough that if they actually coordinate their fire, they can do damage to us. So we do need to keep that in mind, that is for sure. It's not a good thing. And we'll just do as much as we can to them, because that's basically how you do this. If you're not trying to do as much damage as you possibly can, you're not quite doing it right. Okay. Okay, this is fine. Let's do some... Oh, they've just got their shields back up. I was gonna do some stellar aiming with a pike beam and, like, get a solid shot in. But it ends up, we're gonna have to wait until this shot. And now, we only need 3 damage to take it down. So let's do it. What? You have bested us. Will you accept what is in our stores in exchange for our lives? Slug cruiser. Now, okay, you have to understand something about the slugs, just straight up. They are completely untrustworthy, terrible creatures. Like, they will do whatever is necessary to survive and rip you off at the same time. So, my general feeling about this is that we don't know what's in their stores. It could be something really bad. We're not going to let them surrender. We're going to take what's in their stores that remains after the explosion, which is pretty good. 3 fuel, 2 missiles, and 35 scrap. That is not bad. And a store. Oh, thank goodness. And we have 134 scrap going into it. Dude, we can actually buy something here. What are we going to buy? Ooh, a Vulcan. Well, first off, we need to fix all that, buy all the fuel. Now we can buy something. Oh, unfortunately, we don't quite have enough to do a lot of good. We could get the charge laser, which would be quite nice. How much energy does that take? Looks like required power is 3. And our pike beam, I'm thinking we sell the pike beam, buy the charge laser, and then work to actually getting the charge laser operating. We could also turn off the missiles at some point and switch the power over to the charge beam if necessary. But this charge beam is pretty nice. Basically, it can charge up a certain number of hits, and then we can tell it to fire. So it can fire between 1 shot, where it fires a shot very quickly, or it can charge up 4 shots and fire a nice volley there. There are a number of small stations for travelers in the area, lit up by guiding lights and advertisements. Only slug ships are docked, so you decide it's better to avoid a confrontation and steer clear. I completely agree. These disgusting creatures do not deserve any of our patron, I can assure you. There are few more vicious beasts in the galaxy than a slug with his back to the wall. The faltering ship, armed with fire weapons, uses a remote hacking tool to try and disable your door systems. They're going to burn us out? Oh yeah? You think you're so cool? Okay, this definitely looks like a situation where we need power to the engines. And I think we'll keep our weapons system online for now. Our missile system online for now. And probably activate the charge laser instead. We'll let it charge up a bit while we kind of like just chip away at their shields, and then we're going to unleash a pretty strong volley straight up. So at this point, you can see we've charged up to all of our charges are up, and we missed literally every single shot. I mean, we didn't need to hit or anything. That wasn't necessary for like general survival. No, that wasn't important that we actually do damage to the enemies. I was just hoping that maybe we could, you know, work something out at some point. Jeez, how do you miss 4 laser shots? That is absurd. In the very least, we did take down the slug. What is this? The slug ship breaks apart and your systems are normal. We got 1 fuel, 1 drone, 32 scrap, and an explosive replicator. And our ship is on fire. I might also note that our ship is on fire. That is a small consideration, actually. Everyone, we're going to power up the med bay. It is now everyone's job to try to put out this fire. Except for Mr. Starger. Starger doesn't actually have to do anything because he happens to be really terrible at actually fixing things. So, you know, he can just chill out while everyone else walks into small enclosed spaces filled with flames with the intent of putting them out. Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good situation. In the very least, everyone is in position and should be fine. We put the fires out. Let's see what we can do about upgrading our weapon systems a bit. Oh, we're going to need a lot of scrap to upgrade that weapon system. That is unfortunate. That's very unfortunate indeed. We also don't actually have any missiles remaining, so we're just going to have to go with lasers for now. We do have enough lasers to pierce quite a bit of shielding, so hopefully we'll be okay. What do we got? What do we got? Either this part of slug space is deserted, or it's too dense for even slugs to detect your presence. Time to move. That's fine. That's fine. I don't mind not being killed by a bunch of slugs. Preferably, I would love to not be killed by a bunch of slugs. What is this? The nebula looks like it's recently seen 2 ships exchanging fire with mutually assured destructive results. Wreckage drifts by your screens and tumbles into the depths of the nebula to be lost to sight. It's hard to determine who the combatants were without closer investigation. Let's investigate. The wreckage is drifting faster than it first appeared. You barely avoid being pummeled by drifting wreckage. Unable to detect anything of interest, you decide not to risk your ship and prepare to jump. I mean, that's not the worst thing ever. I mean, we didn't get killed or anything. Being killed would be much worse than getting nothing. It has to be said. Oh. The Mantis attack ship here looks to have been hunting slugs on their home turf. A rare test of honor for the mightiest Mantis crews. Weapons up. Yeah. I don't like mighty Mantis crews. They're actually quite dangerous. So we're going to have to charge up all of our beams at the same time and unleash one big volley of all of our weapons. Or else we're not going to have a big chance of piercing their shields. Okay, here we go. We're going to hit straight into their shields to try to be able to actually do some long-term damage. And with that, we've actually managed to pierce the shields, take it down to only 1 shield point left. And you disgusting, dishonorable Mantis, you're done for. It's over. Open fire. Don't let them get away with this. Kill every single one of them. Oh my word, I just realized that our oxygen systems are offline. That is a very bad thing. We're going to continue to rail fire directly onto their shields array while our secondary little weapon takes down their weapons. Ugh. And I mean, despite the fact that that was actually a pretty scrappy fight, the ship explodes, leaving a substantial amount of useful scrap. Very nice. Let's upgrade our ship a bit, get another level of that weapons. So now that we actually have missiles as well, we can run all of our weapon systems at the same time, which is perfect. Is our oxygen? Okay. Sometimes there are these rare occasions where the oxygen gets broken and I don't notice it, and the ship slowly vents of oxygen. So I'm just going to warn on that. If there's any time at which the oxygen system is not fully powered, I would argue it's not my fault. It's more the fault of I didn't realize that it was all broken. You know, we should probably check the ship too. I mean, we fixed everything that we saw was an issue, but there could be hull breaches anywhere in here. So Teledrin's just going to go for a little peruse around the ship just to make sure nothing's broken. And there's no risk of, like, walking into some room that's just completely devoid of all oxygen, because that'd be terrible. Nope, looks like the ship is in tip-top condition. Very good, very good. Back to your stations, it's time to jump. Let's see where we're going to next. I guess we'll head over here. What do we got? What do we got? Ooh. You're surprised to find a ship without slug markings stranded all the way out here and move in to provide assistance. When you see the pirate insignia on the hull, you quickly reconsider. So we could keep our distance, or we can attack them. Look, it was always going to be attack them. What did you expect? Huh. Okay, it's a small little ship. Looks like there's not... I mean, it's really not much of a danger to us. Actually, it's basically no danger. We need to power down the engines and turn on the shields. And we'll be able to take this guy down pretty easily. So much so, I would argue that we should unpower... Not unpower, but not use missiles. Because missiles, we do need to keep those, like, for when we actually need to use them. So if we just, you know, do our little thing here... Oh my word, did they just pierce our shield somehow? Well, you know how I said we weren't going to use any missiles? Well, guess what? You guys just ruined everything. We're now using missiles all the time. Come on now. Take down their shield systems. I want nothing to do with these people. Make them die, please. We now only have one missile left, all because you guys couldn't cooperate and not be dangerous towards us. Ugh. Please don't kill us. We'll give you everything we have. Not happening. How much damage have you done to my ship? Jeez, you think your lives mean more than my ship? Ha! That's ridiculous. Come on now, you're done for. Leave. Be gone. I want nothing to do with you. 1 fuel, 1 missile, 34 scrap. Not bad, not bad. We're gonna get that extra little piece of power and not power up the med bay. We're gonna power up the engines. That'll be fine. Ooh, there's a store. That could be useful. Could pick up a bit of extra repairs before we leave. Uh-oh. A slug ship hails you. We've detected some worrying radiation coming from your medical unit. Perhaps you should take a look. As he signs off, your systems shut off and their crew teleporters board from a nearby station. They don't look like engineers. Oh no. Improved medbay, try to squeeze some extra power to the system. Oh. Fearing the imminent battle, you desperately try to get the medbay working again. The lights flicker back on and you turn to face the intruders. And they happen to have a mind control system as well. So we're going to take that mind control system down ASAP. It is quite a danger to us, actually. So is it only one person is on board at this point? That's okay. They're going for the sensors array, which is not the most important part of our ship. Especially in a nebula where the sensors arrays are basically turned off the vast majority of the time. So, I mean, I think we're in a good condition. Looks like Starger has come back to our side, which is also perfect, mostly because we just absolutely bombed the crap out of their mind control device, which is great. I do not like mind control devices. They're like the worst thing ever. Okay, you three get back into position. Starger, go fix the sensors, even though, as has been previously stated, they're actually pretty useless out here. Hey. Uh-oh. Don't kill our crew members. I don't care if they're mind controlled or anything. Do not kill the crew members, please. Our crew members actually have value to us. Oh, yeah. And the med bay's offline. That's kind of important. Just saying that we turn that back on. The whole constant med bay being offline is not actually always the best thing in the world. But, you know, you gotta conserve power for more important systems. It has to be said. Oh my goodness. Of all the scrappy fights, that was the scrappiest. The slug ship breaks apart and your systems return to normal. 1 fuel, 1 drone, 51 scrap, and a halberd beam. It's not bad. It's not bad. Got level with you. I actually like it. I mean, what would have been better is not destroying the vast majority of our ship, but I mean, if they want to destroy the vast majority of our ship, I mean, that's their prerogative. They can do what they want to. I will be judging them very much. And I happen to be the judge, jury, and the executioner. Mostly the executioner, though. So it's not really in their best interest to judge us too much. Let's go to that store, see if we can't pick up a bit of stuff. You cautiously approach a slug colony on a huge asteroid. It's a brave person who sets foot on a slug planet. It can take weeks to get the mucus out of your clothes, but there's business to be done. I don't think the business is worth all the mucus, but I mean, we do kind of need to do all of this. Let's sell off the halberd beam. It's nice, but it's not gonna be key. Oh, I want that crew teleporter really bad. I did it. I did it. I got a crew teleporter. Was it a good idea? I don't know. How much is this worth? 30. Missile-based weapons have a 50% chance of not using a missile. It hurts! Oh, the pain! We have to repair our ship, though. And we got the crew teleporter. Okay, we now need a boarding crew. Who's going to be part of the boarding crew? It is going to be Miss English and Miss Starger. I think it's a Mister, but it's kind of hard to tell with the mantis. They are insects. I don't know how to tell what gender a mantis is. It has to be said. But they're going to be the boarding crew for now. The long-range beacon is almost hidden within a nebula. When the FTL is charged, you can jump to the next sector. Very nice. Well, for now, that will bring us to the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Next time, we will be jumping into a civilian sector. Because they're both civilian sectors, we don't have a choice. We'll probably jump to this one so we have a bit more of a choice about where to go next time. Either going to a civilian sector or a hostile sector. But anyway, until then, thanks for watching, and of course, enjoy the rest of your day.